Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, fellow Biafrans and lovers of freedom all over the world. I have come to you again today in the name of Chukwukika Abiyama, onye pụrụ ime ihe niile, mama amasị amasị ọgọdọ ya na-akpụla ana. Onye na-anya bụ chi, onye na-anya ga-abụ chi mgbe ebighị ebi ruo n'ebighị ebi. Ya sọpụrụ onye pụrụ ime ihe niile n'ụbọchị taa ọzọ, o megokwa ka o si eme. Today, we are going to be talking about the big problem in the house. The ESN has been crying loud recently. They have been crying since, but the cry is getting louder this time. There is a serious discouragement amongst the ESN gallant men and women. The ESN is crying because they have not been funded. The ESN is crying because the funds raised for them by fellow Biafrans all over the world has been sat on by somebody. This person sitting on the ESN fund is working every day, eating, dining, and whining with the DOS, and DOS is aware of all this. DOS is not talking. Nenyanya is sitting on the ESN money, and ESN is getting demoralized by the day. ESN is threatening this time. From the 27th day of December 2021 till 2 days ago, ESN has been crying from different quarters. They are crying lack of funding. And it's not as if we don't have these funds in place. We have these funds, and these funds are not released. Someone is sitting on it. This person sitting on it is working with Chika Doziem, and Chika Doziem and all his cronies. They are not disturbed. They are not talking about this issue. They are not discussing this. And all IPOB members are keeping quiet as if nothing is wrong. Let me remind us that the code spirit developed by the ESN men and women of gallantry is going to be a big problem. You might be thinking that the Fulani herdsmen and all of their brothers that are joining them using the Nigerian army have gone. They have not gone. You know, it is only a foolish man who will begin to pull down his walls after he had chased away a particular set of armed robbers. The people you thought you have defeated are still waiting. They know what they are doing. They are not tired. They are still preparing better. The ESN leaving that forest is a big danger. Mind you that there is an impending doom. There is an impending doom. If nothing is done by the entire IP, everybody should start crying out. That fund sat upon by Nenyanya, which Dr. Nelly Ofebu has been trying to call her for audit, and she has been turning down this audit application. That fund needs to be released to the purpose for which it's meant for. It should be released to the ESN. These men that are making so much sacrifice, they should have this money for their upkeep. They need more equipment. They have families and have a life like all of you. They have heads on their neck. They have problems. They have needs to be taken care of. And then you better have a rethink. If you have shared the money, rally around all the people you shared the money to, because you might not go, you will not go scot-free. Bring that money, disburse it to ESN members. Send it to the ESN commanders. These men of gallantry cannot be there sacrificing their time, sacrificing their convenience, sacrificing their comfort, and you are there wallowing, jumping from one hotel to the other over there in London. And these men will be in the bushes taking care of our security needs. And you will be there enjoying the money. Is that money brought forth by you? This is money contributed by people who have goodwill over their people here in Nigeria. This money is contributed by people like you. And you are sitting upon it. You don't want to release it. If you have shared it to your DOS members, tell them to bring this money, because it will hang on it will choke them. It will choke all of you. They should bring. Why they are not talking about this money? They are not even attacking you. They are not disturbing you. They even had to sack Dr. Nelly Ofebu because she is crying out loud. Bring out that money, because you cannot swallow it. You can't gulp it down. You can't gulp it down. You cannot swallow it. I am calling on you today, because I might not call on you again. Because we found out that you are up to a top plan. You are not even satisfied with the money of the ESN that you are still with. You are still found around having meetings with Nigerian politicians. The DOS, the HOD, all of you, if you have eaten the money for ESN, vomit it now before these men get totally discouraged. They are crying that they will leave the bushes, they will leave the forests. They are safeguarding your fathers, your mothers, your brothers, your sisters here in Nigeria with us. And you are over there overseas. Inconvenience, enjoying comfort, squandering this money. Bring out this money before it gets too late for you. We have our people, our native people who are spirited. A lot of our spirited brothers, spiritual men, they are getting concerned this time. A lot of pastors, you can hear ministers of gospel, Reverend Fadeji Kembaka, Ebube Monso, Ebuka, a lot of them. It's like the Spirit of the Lord has poured upon them this new year, and they are waking up. They are waking up. A lot of men who commune with the Holy Spirit are coming into this venture. A lot of spiritualists, some native doctors, working with the ancestors rightly. A lot of native doctors are coming in because they are getting concerned by the way things are going. You cannot eat that money. I am telling you, you cannot eat it. Bring it to the ESN. If they get discouraged, oh, I'm sorry for you. I'm sorry for you, because you will find it so very difficult. Because you will bury yourself by yourself. I am telling you, because some people here now who are watching me, they are trying to raise up their filthy mouths to lay blames. Say, why are you crying out? I am the wilderness voice. I am crying out. I am the wilderness voice. I am the living Chukwumerije, because I talk for the living. I am here. I will not keep short. This money, we will go to any length to make sure you are returning this money. I will go to any length. We are going to see to this. I am telling you that the Holy Spirit has poured. Many men of God are coming in. Prayers are going. All of you who are compromising, who are bastardizing the effort to our freedom, you will not find it funny. You will not find it funny. You will not find it funny. Because by the time you are done, before the end of the first quarter of this year, you will begin to see. For all of you who want to protect the DASD, you better gain your senses. Gain your senses. We cannot be talking with freedom. We need to put our house in place first. Our freedom is what we need, but we need to put our house in place. It is because of we have these rats inside house. There have been a lot of leaked information to the Nigerian government security outfits. They are pointing what happened in Imo State some 8 months ago. It's happening again. They are pointing at ESN members now as we speak. They are pointing at IPOB members. Some of them, the DOS member is down here now in Nigeria. He has been cited. He has been cited severally. He has been cited severally in Enugu here, in Abuja. And he was with a renowned politician. Let us make sure we smoke them out. Let us smoke them out. Let us smoke all of them out. Let's make sure we deal with them. Because these people, oh, you don't understand what these people are up to. They want to make sure we start everything. They want to make sure everything that we have labored for, that Mazin Namde Kanu Nyendu, Onye Chineke Gemerebere, Chineke Gane Mekweneze Mbuni, Onwegi Honyi Ropuremen Namde Kanu, because he has been ordained. And he is on his track. He is on his track. He identified his destiny, his place of destiny. The destiny of millions are rested upon his shoulder. God himself. For some of you who think that he is not going to deeper life, or he must not go to deeper life to do the work of God. Nnamdi Kanu is a child of destiny. He's sticking to his calling. Nothing will happen to him. Nothing will happen to him. I am telling you. For you, thinking that we are going out of place, you are fighting anybody that wants to condemn the DOS. The DOS is your problem. Everybody, if you bear that name, indigenous person or people of Biafra, you must stand up to this occasion. These are your, before you fight Buhari, fight him, fight your DOS, fight Chika Doziem. Fight Chika Doziem. Fight Chika Doziem. Nenyanya cannot eat the money if Chika Doziem is not playing along. Chinasa Nworu cannot be cooperating or organizing the coordinators of IPOB across states and countries comfortably if Chika Doziem is not involved. If he's not aware, it will not work. For all of you who are in the media trying to protect him, some of you might be of goodwill because you want to make sure we have a united body. We have a leader. We are recognizing authority. But you need to dissect this issue. Dissect it. See through your eyes. See through your senses. Don't see through your ass. These men have glaringly compromised. I am telling you that one of them is right in Nigeria here now. One of them is right here in Nigeria. And they want us to just keep quiet. And ultimate Dr. Sawario of blessed memory, he said, if you see snake and you see Mbiseman, make sure you first kill Mbiseman. Kill him. Because even the snake that is your enemy can even be your friend. That statement is connotative and denotative in the same place. Don't see it from the direct meaning here. Let it be contextual. If you see Mbiseman here means, if you see that person that is telling you he is this, is that is working with you, in this context, this DOS that you are saying is sharing the affairs in the absence of our leader, they are the real snake. They are the snake here. Even the green grass is no more there because it's now very visible to the blind and very audible to the deaf. These people have taken more than they can handle. They have beaten more than they can chew. Huh? We must all come out of this camp. I am this person camp. Why I cannot attack Simon Ekpa and no one can attack Simon Ekpa is because DOS fighting Simon Ekpa till today cannot prove anything against Simon Ekpa. So because we have a need for a leader, we need to work with Simon Ekpa and we need to keep down the DOS. Let that office be rendered useless now because we don't know who is still good amongst the DOS members. We don't know who is good. If there is anyone good amongst them, you that you are listening to me now, start crying out that you are no more, you are not with these members, these your colleagues. So start crying out because the folly is coming. It must come. It must come because the day of reckoning is not far. It's not far. The day of reckoning is not far. The DOS, all your plans, the steps you've already taken, all the meetings you had with some members of Ohaneze and Doshi, the meetings you had with members of Ohaneze and Doshi, and you measure. Let me tell you, people, if you care to know, the DOS you had during the time, well, before our supreme commander, our supreme leader, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, capture, adoption, and the extraordinary rendition. They were just pretentious men and women. Immediately, it came to the public notice that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been handed over like Judas handed Jesus Christ over to the army. They began to show their real colors. What's your DOS? Since our supreme commander was captured, your DOS never saw it 18 of course. You can see how comfortably relaxed they are. It is not disturbing them. The first measure was just to make sure they brought up new accounts. They stifled everything that will make for transparency and accountability to the wealth of the body, to the treasury of IPOB. Anyone who dares question them becomes a threat, like Dr. Nelly Ofebu. Next thing, they did not see any other thing as important. They did not even consider if they need to even call anybody, maybe have negotiations, involve the Niger Delta boys who felt not carried along and because of that are not cooperating. They did not see any measure to building tension as important. The first measure they just deemed fit, that is, they saw paramount, is how do we stop sit at home? As if you just stop sit at home, our problems will be solved. How does that solve our problem? But they know what they are doing. Everything is working out in their plan. It is scripted. It is scripted. It is pre-arranged. The next thing you just heard is, hey, this yes, our supreme leader said there will be no election. In the next minute, you just heard them say, let the election hold, that we are in political negotiations, that we have alternative. We are taking a political measure now. What political measure? What political agreement? What arrangement? Since election was allowed, did you see how the fire that was boiling in the heart of every indigenous person or people of Biafra How the fire was fast dwindling. The fire that was beamed with so much effort from Onyendu, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu Okwu. The fire that took him so much effort to beam. They are going for political solution. Political solution. The political solution. They did not stop there. After killing the moral, killing the vibes, the burning desires that every indigenous person of Biafra was having inside, we were just killing it. Killing it. The next thing was just to start incriminating the ESN. Yeah, so they started incriminating. They went as far as bringing to public, calling ESN members' names, to just attaching crimes that doesn't exist to them, bringing their names to public notice, telling the DSS, Nigerian DSS, leading them how to go and arrest these people individually. If there is any way they mean well for us or for the cause. Have you ever seen Nigerian army punishing a soldier in the public? And do you think it's because they don't know? They know. They know. If they no go school, then they never travel. They know. Traveling is even the biggest medium of experience. They know. They are seeing things. They know. They know that you cannot be unveiling top secret matters to a public, especially when it has to do with security. If any member of a security body apparatus misbehaves, it is the responsibility of the security leader. That is why we have military police. The offending members of army are punished by the military police. The ESN has a unit to punish offenders. What happens to the authorities of the ESN? And you are here, you are still believing that they have not compromised. I tell you. Because I know they are not even giving. Some people think that they are paying all of the people defending them here on social media. They are not paying all of them. It's just a few of them that they are paid. They are paying. A lot of these people are defending them based on zeal and because they have goodwill for IPOB. But they don't know. I am telling you today, if you don't know it. Examine their actions since the capture of Nnamdi Kanu, our leader, the man that means well for us. Examine their actions and inactions. If they mean well for you, why are they not putting up big efforts? Why are they too relaxed? They are not talking about Nnamdi Kanu. They are talking about it's just money, changing of account, incriminating ESN, doing everything that we are announcing, even leading. How can you be leading your enemy to capture your own? You go use your sense now. Education abrokwana edukuche. And if you go to school, make you not understand all these things. No be school, no be by school. Ada go tia na akwụkwọ. Eh? I'm coming. You should understand. That agwọ nọ n'akịrịka. And if you refuse to chase after the black goat, now it is noon. When it is night, you might not identify this black goat because it's all darkness. It's all darkness. I want to bring Korean and China old dynasties and kingdoms. I will bring their story because I need to relate to something that you need to understand. What these people are, this top betrayal, it cost the 3 kingdoms of Korea. Before you started having the North Korea, these ones are just yesterday. These are the in years, even BCs. This was 600 years ago. 600. Around 600. That's the time I'm talking about. That is what caused the kingdoms. And it favored China, Tang, Silla. We need to start chasing after the black goats now. It is noon. The DOS you are honoring, you are hallowing. They doesn't deserve what you are doing for them, because some of you mean well for this cause. Because we need to unite. We need to unite. I am not campaigning for Simon Ekpa, but I am at the same time still saying we need a leader. For the time, we cannot trace any remains, any shit to his ass, his anus. For now, we cannot trace. His anus is still very clean. It's still very clean. We cannot trace. The DOS started trying to paint him black, condemn Nelly Ofebu. I had to condemn Nelly. Don't even condemn me for, I think I am double-edged sword. I am not. I had to face Nelly Ofebu for the area she was putting up little confusion. But that does not mean that she did well for us, because she exposed all of this before it came to our knowledge. She started crying out before we knew there was something fishing in DOS, the whole arrangement of the DOS. Yes, she did. Now, this new year, what your DOS announced to you, your New Year present, is that the 30th day of May that we have been using for our remembrance of Biafran Day, Biafran independence, and the fallen heroes, that we are not going to use it again, that the sit at home again. It's not about the first cancellation of sit at home. No. You know, he started with the sit at home will not continue until the day we are going to court. Then the day we are going to court, there was no noise from them to make sure that the sit at home for the court day was very honored. It was well carried out. Now, on 30th day, the Biafran Day, Remembrance Day, that even Governor Obiano honored officially on his power. In his power as a governor, he honored it. He said no worker goes to work. Everybody sits at home to remember this day. Your DOS said we won't be sitting at home again. He wants to educate us, Professor Chikadozem. Professor Chikadozem, he wants to take us on lectures. Chikadozem, don't worry, your game will soon be, it will soon be up. Your game will soon be up. Your game will soon be up. You think you can fool, you can deceive some of the people some of the time, but you can never deceive all of the people all of the time. Some people will always open their eyes even when you force them to sleep. We can't all be sleeping. And now we are waking up. All IPOB members, you will see it. Just in a matter of a month, you will see all IPOB members. You can't stand the pressure. You can't handle it. You can't handle it. Chinas Anworo is encouraging you. Nothing will happen. We are using Nigerian politics devilish mind. He's imbibing in you the culture of draconianism. You want us to remain in that enclave. You don't have any good plan for us. You don't have any good plan for your people. Don't worry. This is what happened in that North Korea. I am going to tell you. The story I want to use to relate what is happening in IPOB now and the DOS. Listen attentively and relate. After, you will judge for yourself. Because today you will be the judge. So that we stop having a divided house. Let us smoke out. Let's know who is the enemy. And the implication of the actions of the enemy if unchecked, if continuously unchecked. In the year 645, there was a big quest for supremacy. The people of Korea, where we have as Korea today, before even they start having North Korea and this North Korea and South Korea is just obviously. The people of Korea, when they were still Goguryeo, they were under a Generalissimo Yun Gusimun. Generalissimo Yun Gusimun. The man meant very well for Goguryans. It is from that name we have Goguryeo, but the real spelling was Kokyo. Kokyo. It is there we have Korea. He was doing everything to make sure his people had a better life. He had an arrangement, organized inner body, like we're having DOS attached to Nnamdi Kanu. This Generalissimo Yungusumun he was just like Nnamdi Kanu we have today. He lived a sacrificial life. He was very audacious. Then on the part of Tang, we have an emperor, Emperor Taizong. Yeah, you can search about it. Emperor Taizong, he had two kingdoms, two dynasties. That was the dynasty of Silla and the dynasty of Tukik. That was the makeup of Tang. While here in Goguryeo had three kingdoms. In these three kingdoms, we have Bakje, Yamato, Mole. Bakje, Yamato, and Mole kingdoms. These kingdoms, he instituted authorities over them to easy administration. Then, like we're having today, this is inner bodies. They were trying to pollute some of these kingdom leaders, and some of them disagreed. Envy. All along, Generalissimo never knew that was how he was having men who were envying him, and they were eating, dining, whining together, embracing, hugging, praising him in public. He didn't know they were killing him behind him. Exactly what we're having in the IPOB today. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu never knew. Yes, he knew that there would be enemies around him. He never knew it was to this extent. Do you know that these people have been envying this man? That is why they are very comfortable that he is there. They don't want anything that will even lead to his release. Anybody who will even do anything that will lead to his release will even be an enemy. That's why immediately they took up a fight against those people that are trying to make sure there is still fire in IPOB, that there is, when there is still fire, when there is this motivation, when there is life in the body, when there is strong agitativeness, the government will begin to subpedal. But the government, if you listen to what Buhari said, his statement tells you he don't even know that you are existing. He don't know, he don't care, he don't give a fucking damn. Because he knows that everywhere is as cold as water in freezer, not even in fridge. And that is what your DOS want. Now, these men had to meet Emperor Taizong. They had agreement. They compromised and started leading some top generals to their untimely death. You don't know what when we say some people are mean and wicked, you might not know. Even Tang knew they could not fight Gogyo's army. Tang had to go and align with Silla. Together, Tang and Silla fought Gugyo. And around 60, 61, they defeated Bekje, and Bekje succumbed to their army in 668. Now, the punitive, the offensive they led were all halted by Deji Young was a young man of great spirit in the army, because there was a conspiracy that led to the army of Tang, in collaboration with Silla, to attack the Generalissimo Yungusu Moon on his way, going to make arrangements for how to crush these people. Nobody knew about his movement. A member of his cabinet, his inner men, his DOS, they leaked that, and he was ambushed. Arrow was poisoned. He was struck, and he couldn't make it. Even when with this poison, he still went on. Now, one thing you should know, you should pick from here now, is that the arrest of Nnamdi Kanu, the capture of Nnamdi Kanu, was an in-house arrangement. That's not where I'm going as well. That's not even where I'm going now. When these people launched the offensive in 61, with all their alliances, the army of Tang was still strong to repel them. It was until there was serious compromise. They didn't succeed. It was what made the Tang to later succeed at the end of the day was there was a more offensive compromise. Let me use that, because the compromise was nobody will ever know that somebody can betray his people to that extent. That's what is happening in the US now. That's what is happening. Because even the capture of Nnamdi Kanu is not enough. There are many other things they are trying to bring up. Secrets that are leading to people. They want everyone that we cuff to be apprehended by the DS. They are on a very dangerous move now. We need to stop them. The more you recognize them, that is the more they keep selling you out. There are agreements with Nigerian government by the US right now as we speak. Right now, if you are doubting me, stop supporting anyone for now. Examine everybody. Check it yourself. Don't you that is not yet paid, because I know some of you who are already paid, you have sold your conscience, so there is no retracting. You yourself, you feel ashamed. But I advise you, even with what you have taken, still use your brain. The money is not their own. If it pleases you to return part of the money, return it. You that is in the media fighting for them. Because the blood of the people, the innocent people who mean well for you and your people, all of us here, that has gone down, it will remain, it will hover over your life and your generations. Yes. The death of Gwesemun was planted by an inner house like your DOS. Their compromise. Now that death led to a kind of violent dissension. There was a serious violent dissension. There was killing of morale. As the man that was feared by all. Even the emperor feared Generalissimo. Emperor feared him. He was a man of valor. He was a warrior of no comparison in his time. In the year 666. But he was betrayed. The morale of the people was killed. Betrayal continued. One betrayal, if you commit one sin, it will lead you to committing another sin. And sin will continue. And there will be the total depletion of morale and entire life. Just imagine you cheated your wife and you came back to make up a story. The story you made one day will still be found out. And when you want to still cover, it will keep going. It is even better you cheated, you come, kneel down, tell her you are very sorry. Likewise, a woman, he will find a way, he will forgive you, she will still accept you. Pari passu. Now, the demoralization is extending as the betrayal is still on. If this betrayal is stopped now, you will see the fire, the vibration of IPOB will come up again. Check it. Late 668, Gogyo, because of betrayal. Check it. From compromise, the general was ambushed, finally died eventually. Violent dissension took over. Betrayal expounded. Now, it leads to total collapse. Collapse of Gogyo. The three kingdoms was fallen. The three kingdoms of Gogyo was of Korea were fallen. And do you know it did not stop there? How can it stop there? It did not stop there because one thing will keep leading to another. One thing will keep leading to another. Tang was annexed. Tang was annexed after so many years. 23 years of war. Tang. And within these 23 years, they stood till 6-8. They stood strong till 6-8. Till 6-6. Because they withstood in till 6-2. 6-6-2. Because they fought with their fort when the attack came from the north and south Gogyo. In the alley of Tang and Silla. They stood the pressure. They beat the invaders and they had to go. Yes, they deserted they deserted their tents. Now, one thing leading to another. Tang annexed Gogyo. The three kingdoms of Korea was taken over, was fallen. They fell. They surrendered to their enemy. Andong now became a new province of the enemy. Enemy now extended their government. It's like British coming to recolonize us. That is it, because of selfishness of few men. Greedy men. All efforts, all lives, they were lost. Remember that Gogyo was very lesser in number compared to Tang and Silla. Only the army of Silla alone is over the population of Gogyo. But they were very strong all these years of war until this stopped betrayal. Betrayal. From compromise. Betrayal by just a handful of persons who you can do away with. Andong became a province. Gogyo and Bejek now did not just surrender. They signed a fealty. A fealty is that, like you have a feudal system. They signed it. And in a feudal system now, you have a lord. You are a serf. Gogyons and Jek people became serf to Silla. It was signed. Go and check. They signed it. Now became slave. That is slavery. Second time slavery. And one day, China of today again. It's still China we are talking about. Oh, this is something that happened before Christ. I'm still talking about because it's these people we are talking about. The pain they will cost us. They will cost us pain. If we are docile like this, every member of IPOB should stand up against them. They should be taught a lesson that their generations will never forget, because for them they will forget. They will not be alive even to, because what will happen to them, the blood that will cry on their head. Sila, that was Ali to Tang, and a brother province to Tang, now became the people that Google and Bejek signed fealty to. Do you know what betrayal can do? Slavery, second time slavery. So, if you are not standing up to this occasion, then you don't know what you want. As an IPOB man, an IPOB woman, and you are still defending DOS protocol, obeying order, authority, how does that in your obeying? Structure? What structure? The structure that they used to betray the leader? What structure? We need to fight these people now or never. Fight them now or never. ESN is crying. ESN want to leave the bushes. Cry out now. Anyway, anything you will use, if you have stone, throw at them. Do you know what later happened to the people that betrayed? Let me even, it's an interesting part I want to tell you. They were brought out to the streets. They received public execution. No, you know, if I call it a public execution, it will be more moderate. It will be more gentleman-like. They were stoned. No, I am not making it up. They were practically stoned, planked. Nobody used knife on them. It will be big man killing. They were stoned. They were dragged on the street. Beaten, humiliated. They ended in shame. That is how these people should be ended. IPOB, if you call this name IPOB and you believe in the cause of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu Onyendu, Ahamadike 1, you need to begin to reason with your senses. Judge for yourself. If someone started immediately that the supreme leader was captured, his boss, the person he say, hey, we follow him, we love you, and he was captured immediately, that is when they now begin to enjoy pleasure, enjoy convenience, Nobody is shaking at all. That is the time they have to start immediately. They did not seek for nothing. It was just to begin to seek for ways account, how to create new account, how to call off protest, how to call up sit at home, how to immediately thwart all the orders of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu when he said, in death, in life, nothing like election we hold in Igbo land again. That it is not like how we have said before. This time it's very serious because they are not taking us serious. And the first thing you do was to start disobeying everything he stood for. Okay, let Simon Ekpa start broadcast because he have the vibes in his mouth to do this. He never swore oath to us. He did not register with us. Did Simon Ekpa swear oath to work with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Was he not working on his platform while Mazi Nnamdi Kanu even told you that you should follow him? Follow him, for I have tested the spirit. Follow him. He said that. And they know it. Yourself, you know it because you have watched it. You watch the broadcast, it is there on YouTube. Go and check for it. He said, follow him. The man is not under your payroll. He is not interested in your money. He is not interested in your authority. Just because you know he's a man of principle and he is never going to take your stupid oath. It is the oath that you took and you are betraying the cause. The oath that you took and you are siphoning the fund from the treasury of IPOB. That is the oath he must take. Simon Ekpa must take before he will be worthy of taking the broadcast assignment that the supreme leader ordered him to. Why, if you know how to sack people, if you know how to dismember people, why didn't you tell Nenyanya to bring the money on the order of Mazen Nandekano? Because when Nelly Ofebu raised it, before Nandekano was captured and extraordinarily renditioned, he mentioned that Nenyanya should immediately, it's a matter of urgency, make sure he wire that money back to ESN here in Nigeria, so that they will start using the money for what it is meant, and somebody is sitting and you are comfortable. Are you not a thief? He is. Stop following them. Stop sympathizing them. Stop being an apologetic of the DOS and HOD. These offices, as far as I am concerned, these offices are null and void till Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, the Supreme Ohamadike one, is out. All those eye service men you have there, men and women you have there, Nnamdi Kanu will come out because they thought he's never going to come out. Their assignment is to make sure he's not coming. Anything that will make for that vibrance of their body, of the IPOB, they try to quench it. Because with quenching it, Nnamdi Kanu will be forgotten there to rot. But it's not going to work. Because there are still men of zeal. Chukwu gozie niile, ndị homa na dị mma, unu ga-enweta ihe ọma. Ndị chọrọ ihe ọma, unu ga-enweta. Ndị si na ha chọrọ akpa ide, because anyị ji akpa ido bịa, anyị bụkwa ube. Unu ọ bụ ndị homa na dị mma, unu ga na-aracha ube maka na akpa ube dọ. Mana ndị bụ ndị homa na-asa afọ, anyị ebunyu na akpa ide. Anyị ebunyu na akpa ide. Otu aka ọha m n'ọnụ n'ụbọchị taa. Daalụnụ, ụbọchị unu mara unu mma. Ise